getting a job can be one of the most exciting things that you ever do in your life, but it can also be one of the most frightening things that we ever possibly do. Now, I'm joined here today with Junior Farr, who is now an ex-boxer. And today we're going to be talking about, he's now on this journey into his next section in life. And we're going to be talking about where he was in the past, where he currently is today, and where he wants to go to in the future, and all of the lessons we learned along the way. Because my name is Bronson, and I work at ZEIL, and it's my job to help 100,000 Kiwis get jobs. And one of the most important factors of that is to first understand exactly where Junior is, and then where he wants to go. So, Junior, would you be able to give me a bit of an introduction and just tell me a bit about yourself, where you were, and specifically, I would love to know why it is that you're stopping boxing and you're transitioning to something else.
Yeah, sure. So I was a boxer. Started when I was 16. I remember. What are the reasons why I started boxing? Okay, so I remember when I was younger, there was two sports that I saw growing up, and that's rugby, of course, and then the other one was boxing, because my dad used to be a boxer, and I didn't enjoy rugby, and so I wanted to get into boxing because that was the other thing that I saw. I showed some talent, and my dad just kept taking me, and then as I progressed along the sport just gave me more opportunities. And almost 20 years later, I got to where I was and then chose to leave. It was a great career, great amateur experience, great professional experience. Got to fly around the world and do my thing, and it was something that I loved until a point in my life where I was questioning why I was doing it. And the answers weren't the same anymore. So what happened?
That's cool. Would you be able to just take me back into that moment in which you decided that boxing is no longer for me? Like, what was going through your head in that moment?
It was a very, very interesting time of my life because I didn't have the words for it. It was a feeling that was pulling me away from the gym. I got it at the start of this year. I remember I was trying to stay consistent. I was consistent with my training, but I wasn't going to my fight gym. Something was pulling me away for some reason. And when I did eventually go there, I still had that feeling. I still had that feeling of like something pulling me away, which was strange because I've dealt with anxiety and stuff before where I don't turn up to the gym for any reason. And then when I finally go, I feel good. You know what I mean? Because when you're anxious, sometimes what kind of heals you is action. And so I took that approach. I was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling a bit funny because I haven't been to the gym in a while. So usually what works, I go to the gym and then I feel great. But it didn't work this time. I went to the gym and I'm still looking around and I still got that feeling of like, this is quite violent, which is strange, you know what I mean? Because I've never looked at like on that before. I've had so many fights. I've been training for so long, and I've only seen the art. And then, just as the weeks went by, it was hard because at the same time I had a fight booked in. That's money booked in. Good money too, because at the stage where I was with my career, it was like I finally got to a place where I was making good money, and I was like, sweet, perfect. This is why I've been training for so long, and that wasn't enough anymore. And I remember I was training. I looked down on my fist while I was punching the bag, because punching the bag and I'm hard. Sorry, I'm hard. What the fuck was that?
What the change was. Yes, we're talking about the change, and you were bringing us back to the moment in which you realized that boxing was no longer the thing that you're going to be doing forever. And you had a fight coming up, and you were preparing for it, and you were battling with this, this conflict inside your mind of, should I be boxing? Should I not be boxing? And then you're bringing me back into the gym.
Yep.
Would you better just start there and continue onwards a little bit?
Sure. I will have to go back a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit. So yeah, so at the start of this year, I remember I was trying to keep consistent with my training, and I just wasn't training at the gym. There was something that was keeping me away from the gym for some reason. I don't know what it was. And when I went into the gym and I'm looking around and I'm seeing the sport differently now. I'm seeing the violence, like the true violence of the sport, and not how it used to look to me. Because before it was beautiful, and I just see the art and the little sweet science of it. But my views changed, and that was because I like a few months before I left my religion. That was the catalyst of it all. Was that I left my religion because of different reasons, but ultimately finding out that it was kind of based on not complete truths, if that makes sense. Like there was some stuff that was hidden, and then I had to look more into it, and then I found out they were hiding a whole bunch of stuff, and so I left that. I left my religion, and then I left religion as a whole because my thoughts changed, and then I was trying to seek goodness, like goodness and truth, and just where they met. Because sometimes religion is very very concentrated on truth, and then sometimes it comes from the cost of what's good, because to get into heaven, people are going to go into hell for whichever reason, and that to me didn't make sense. I was just like, because what qualifies you to get into heaven is a belief, and what qualifies you to go into hell is a disbelief. It's not what you've done. It's not what. So yeah. So that point didn't like it kind of it didn't make sense to me on a human level, because I have non-believer friends, and they're all good people. Didn't make sense that they would go into a horrible place like that just for not believing, and it really changed my views on everything. And so I chose to leave religion, and when I'd done that, I'm also questioning, okay, so you're going to treat humans like in a real, I'm going to try and treat everyone like with like great respect, and have like just a massive respect for just humans and for our existence. And then that also changed my views on the stuff I eat. Why am I like participating in animal cruelty and stuff? And so I chose to go vegan. And same thing. It was all because of the harm that was in it. So I left religion because of the harm that's in it. I left eating meat because of the harm that was in it, but I was still in a sport that was causing harm. Especially for me, with a person who believes that there is no afterlife, and that there is no, promised life after this. If I believe that I have one life, why am I risking mine all the time? And why am I risking others' lives at the same time? Those thoughts were like in my feelings. I didn't have these thoughts while I was going in it. It was just a feeling that was pulling me away. And then when I was punching the bag, I remember, because I had a fight coming up and that's money, I was punching the bag, and because training's hard, and I'm sweating, and I'm like, oh man, this is hard. And then I'm thinking, why am I training so hard to hurt people? You know, like
Yeah.
all of this effort just to hurt people. And then I'm thinking, oh nah, it's because I can provide my family with money, and this is why everyone does it. I'm thinking, no, because if you can solve that issue by just getting a job anywhere. Why do you have to hurt people to make money? Why? Am I just feeding my ego? At that point, like my ego was gone. Like I didn't need to feed that part of me anymore. And so since that was gone, I couldn't really justify the reasons of staying in the sport where I'm harming others and potentially harming myself. And then I left.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like bold move. I appreciate that, because I know so many people, myself included, who have stayed in jobs far longer than we know we should have because of this fear of going out into the unknown, not exactly sure what we want to do. So we just stay in our safe space and we just never move on words in life. And it sounds like you had, well, it is a very big transition period from where you were to where you currently are now and into the future. Do you currently have any ideas, or how are you thinking about, what could I be doing in the future?
Yeah, so I came from a background of hurting people, and now I just want to help people. And so I'm looking towards becoming a cop or becoming a fireman. Those are the two things that I applied for straight away because I'm still young, I'm still fit, I'm still strong. I still want to make use of the things that I have. And so, yeah, so I applied for both of them, and then, then we'll see. We'll see.
That's cool. To people such as myself, or to other people who are in this space of, hey, I want to go out and try something else, but I'm not too sure whether or not I can do this. What would you say to people like that?
I think if you just put your trust in yourself, I think everyone knows what they can do. Everyone's got their feeling on like knowing like what they really want to do. I think it's just having the bravery of doing it and just having the courage to really just stay convicted in those feelings and your thoughts, have confidence in yourself, and just move with conviction. Because that's something that I am very proud of. When I made these massive life changes, I'm very proud that I'm finding my authentic self, and that was with a lot of help with my psychotherapist. As I was going through these through these challenges, I was trying to make sense of everything up here, and I needed some help. And so I went and saw a therapist, and one of the things she told me when I was trying to explain my past to her and my feelings and stuff, and like I'm because I'm displaying such a real gentle spirit now. It's something that I've always had, but I told her, yeah, I was very different from my friends. I was always the soft guy. I wasn't in any fights. I've never drunk. I've never done anything terrible at all. And so I just really want to reconnect with that. And I'm telling her that I'm just in a real confused space right now. And she told me, oh, it sounds like, she said, you say you're trying to figure things out, but it sounds like you already know who you are. You just have to like reconnect with that person. And that really like touched home with me because I was so embarrassed of a lot of things growing up because I was so different from my friends in school. They all wanted to be mechanics and builders and stuff, but I was more of like an artsy dude. So I wanted to get into the hairdressing stuff or just do something where it's more visual and not so like physical. And that's something that I was embarrassed about when I was younger. And so now I'm really connecting with myself and not being ashamed of that and just following that. I think that's what everyone needs to do because I think like I said before, everyone knows everyone's got that feeling of fulfillment inside, and if it's not getting like fulfilled, you know it. I'm happy now, even though I don't know what's next. I know that I want to help people, and I'm really connected with that, and I know that's the right thing.
That's cool.
And also, I'm happy that I'm not ruled by money anymore, because as I said, that fight was for great money, and I'm glad I just walked away from it. And I'm like, sweet, I can really just follow my passions, and my passions is to help people right now.
Yeah. Again, so many people, myself included, have followed the money far longer than we should have. How did you break that habit? We're just told nowadays in society that we've got to go to work, we've got to make money, we've got to go and grind. But it sounds like you've found a way to, break that and to follow your passions, which is something which is, one, commendable, like mad respect.
Thank you.
That is one of the biggest things that I've seen damage people is not pursuing after their dreams. How did you make that switch and go, all right, I'm going after my passions?
Definitely with a great partner. You know, I'm not able to do this myself. Well, I could, but that would probably be super irresponsible. You know what I mean? So I've got a great partner. We've been together for so long. We've been married for 10 years, almost together for 20. But it's been, it hasn't been easy, but I know it's the right thing to do. And my wife trusts me and she knows that this is the right thing. I think that's it. It's just being comfortable with yourself and trusting yourself. I was telling her the other day, like the way that my life approach is now isn't like my moves aren't very intentional. So that kind of gives her a little bit of a headache, you know what I mean? Because like I don't have a set plan. What's that? There's like a belief system. What is it like the what is it? Taoism, when you just like kind of like, you know, let things happen. And right now, I'm just letting the wave of life guide me through life. Opportunities will pop up. When they pop up, that is where I put my attention, and that is where my intention goes towards. But until then, I'm just kind of like, you know what I mean? I'm just letting opportunities like come up, like how, you know, you guys did, and then I just say yes, sweet, because I feel that's what aligns with me, because I don't try to stress too much, and then with that comes me stressing out my wife. But you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. You know, I think, yeah, just as long as I connect with my authentic self and still like put food on the table and still take care of immediate needs, then I think I'm on the right track, and that's what I'm doing so far.
I think so too.
Yeah.
That is cool. Now, we've both agreed that boxing is no longer a path for you. But there are so many lessons that I'm sure that you've learned inside boxing, and there are so many people who, again, they go down this one path and they feel like, hey, I've done this same thing for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It's too late for me. I cannot transition. I cannot go do something else. I don't know anything else except what I currently do. What lessons have you learned in boxing that you think help position you to think about life in a different way that gives you an advantage in the marketplace?
I think for me personally, it's my for me personally, I think because we live in a time where like media plays such a huge role into everything, and into making money as well. I feel like I felt very comfortable leaving my career because I could see different avenues. One of them was through media, because I don't mind being in front of the camera. That was something that I'd done all my career, you know what I mean? I fight in front of everyone shirtless. I talk to a person after my fights, and so talking and stuff was a great skill that I acquired from it. And but the number one skill that I got from it was confidence. Confidence in boxing is a huge thing. I think confidence in learning any type of martial arts is a huge tool that people can acquire from it. And that was one of the big things for me, was that I felt so confident in myself, and I brought that confidence into every aspect of my life. If I'm doing something that pushes me outside of the bounds of my comfort zone, I'm comfortable being in that uncomfortable place, because that's what fighting is. When I go out and fight, it's not like I'm confident or like I don't have fears. No, I got fears. Everyone's got fears. We're all human, but we do it. I believe that is how you're brave, right? Like, you're not brave because you don't feel scared. You're brave because you feel scared and you overcome it. And so I'm used to that feeling, and I never want to let fear be the reason why I don't do anything. And that's the way that I approached leaving the sport. There were fears there, but I felt convicted in my feelings that I was no longer going to be a part of the sport anymore. And I felt confident enough to know that I'll be okay. And I am okay. And my family's okay. And wherever this goes, I know I'm gonna be all right. Man, like, I'm young, I'm fit. I feel like the world has great opportunities for people like me. And yeah, and that's the confidence that I got from boxing, and along with all the other skills that kind of came along the way. But yeah, that was it.
That's cool. I got some books to recommend you after this.
Perfect.
Oh my goodness. Wow. How does it feel now that you have made that decision and you're no longer doing boxing? It's not there. How do you feel in your heart going forwards?
I feel very, very, very in line with myself. Very much in line with myself. Throughout each day, I feel more connected to myself, and I'm kind of. It's been interesting too because I've been vlogging every day as well, so I get to kind of talk to the camera, talk through my feelings and stuff, and then I get to watch it again and edit the videos, and I get to relive those moments again. And it's been amazing to see the change, to see like the differences with the approach of life. Like I'm very much the same person, but my approach in life is very different. But yeah, it's been great. It's been great. Like opportunities have come up. For the time being, as I'm figuring out if I want to become a cop or fireman or whatever, I've been offered opportunities to like teach boxing classes and stuff, which is something I never thought that I would do because my views of the sport changed. But then I remembered everything that I got from boxing, and which is like confidence and stuff. And I know so much about the sport. I've done it for so long, and I felt like it was maybe selfish of me to keep that to myself. And so now I'm passing the knowledge on to an extent. Like I tell people that, yeah, I'll teach you boxing, but I'm not going to take you to the ring because my views of the sport have changed. But I will teach you. And so I am teaching classes now, and I've been loving it because I get to transfer what's up here out there. And it's a different ball game, that part, you know what I mean? Because I know everything, but then how do I verbalize it in a way that they can understand? And so that ways, and so that change of, so that side of the sport is very, very different. But it's been real enjoyable. It's really enjoyable teaching people who don't want to fight, but want to learn the skills has been really cool. The most of them have been like, older ladies. So it's been like, totally fun, and I can see the frustration in their face, and I'm like, oh yeah, man, like, practice this, and you can beat up your husbands and but yeah, man, it's been fun. It's been fun so far.
It's a very good skill to have, for sure. Getting a job can be incredibly exciting. It can also, things don't always go according to plan in life. So what are your thoughts on when these challenges come up in life? How do you either navigate like right through it or around it? Or how do you approach challenges in life?
Burn the boats, baby. Burn the boats, bro. Yeah, that's the way I'm kind of just dealing with it right now. I'm just I just have the same approach as I said before, like a real Taoist approach. I'm just letting things I'm just letting life just play out. I'm not going to be attached to it, I'm going to definitely pursue becoming a cop or becoming a fireman, whichever one I choose, and I'll just let that play out. I will give my best, and then If my best wasn't good enough to make it, it is what it is. Let's just move on to the next one. That's the approach that I'm taking on life. The same as the coaching that I'm doing right now. The opportunities came up, yeah, sweet, take it. Take it. I did my best there, and from that, more gyms have offered their spots too. So it's been great. It's been a great way, and it's my approach that fits me. And I think the biggest thing that I've gotten out of all of this is just to really trust myself and trust that I'm going to be okay, and to find for me, it's just being comfortable, being authentic. Yeah.
Well, that is something that can be incredibly difficult for many people, to be their authentic self. Especially when I'm thinking about as well, growing up, we're surrounded by people and we feel like we need to be a certain type of person, but it sounds like you've really come into your own space and who you are as a person. How can other people do that?
I don't know. I think it's, yeah. People can give other people reasons to do anything, right? It's not until you really connect with it, until you really feel it yourself, that you're going to change. Something in their life has to happen where they feel that they have to change. People can convince themselves and talk in there, and then they'll give themselves reasons and stuff, and they're great reasons, but they don't connect with it, so they're not going to change. That's the biggest thing that I learned from becoming a vegan, because I knew that I knew that it's not good to kill an animal and eat it. I'm pretty sure the animal didn't want to die, and I knew that before. But it wasn't until something changed in my life, which was religion. Something changed, and it changed my outlook on life, and then I could finally connect with that, and that's what changed. Because I knew the reasons to become one before, I just didn't connect with it. But now I did. And so that's the same approach that I think people have to have as well. You can be convinced, but you're not going to change until you really, really connect with it, with conviction and your, I don't know, for lack of a better term, with your soul and spirit. Very funny. Sounds very funny coming from an atheist, but but that's exactly what I mean. I feel something has to happen in your life where you feel like you have to change. I don't know what it is, but yeah, until you have that feeling, I don't think you can, honestly. I don't think you can move away from whatever you're doing with conviction. Well, with a strong conviction. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been plant-based for 10 years now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's challenging going out in New Zealand, got to be honest.
Yeah.
It's very hard to find plant-based stuff, but we're doing all right around here.
I just want to quickly flag, and it's 11:50. We can keep going, but just so you're aware of the time.
All right. That's good.
A good question that you could potentially
Hit me.
ask is, it's on your list of questions. Who has been the most influential person in your career, and what role does passion play in achieving success?
That's fine. Man, my questions are good. All right, let's do that one. Where were we talking about that? Plant-based. We could talk about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We could talk about plant-based for the next hour or two.
There we go, man.
But now we'll talk about... Previously, you said that you are who you are because of people in your life who have, helped you get to where you are. What are some of the main lessons that you've learned from these people that you use yourself today?
Today, authenticity. Authentic
Authenticity.
authenticity. Authenticity.
It's a word.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, authenticity is probably the thing that I really really admire about my dad and my mum and different people around me. But those are the two that I saw growing up, and they were themselves, and I really admired that. I didn't at the time because I was I was in a religion that said that was bad, and so you know they tried to keep you in line and stuff. It's not that my parents were bad, but they were just like they didn't fit what the church told them was right, and so I was forced to look at them like that. But I knew that they were themselves, and then afterwards, as I grew up, I'm just like, oh no, like I feel like that's such a beautiful trait that people can have. If they can be the authentic self unapologetically and still be a good person and not hurt anyone, I feel that's the way to live, That's the way to live. And that's what I'm trying to do now. Just connect with myself. I know I'm a good person. I know that I'm just trying to make this life on earth better for as many people as I can, including the animals. And so I don't feel there's anything wrong in that. And I got that from my parents for sure. Authenticity. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. When you think of influential people outside of your parents, do you have? There's a side question. Are there people outside of your parents that you look at and you're like, yep, they helped shape me to who I am today?
Yeah, of course. But it's too many people to name, because everyone plays a role. To my sparring partners, to the person I just met down the street, to the people at the gym, to my coaches, everyone plays a role. I can't really name one person like outside of my immediate family, but yeah, I've got to say, but if I was to name one, I would say it would be my manager Mark. Yeah, he was a great, just a good person, good person. Those are the types of people that I always looked up to. Not successful in terms of money or their career and stuff. I look at people the way that they treat others, and my goal is to be like those people. It's just to be a good person, and he's a good person, and he was a great athlete too. He went to the Olympics. He was a 200-meter runner for New Zealand when we went to Atlanta, I think, 1996, whatever. So yeah, he's a great athlete, but just a good person, because that's all I wanted to be, and I saw that in him, and I still kind of, I keep in touch with him, and I still take lessons from what he says and stuff, even though we have different backgrounds and whatnot. He is still the type of person that I want to be, just a good person. But that's like everyone, even my coaches at the gym, they're all great people. But if I was to name one, it'll be my manager, Mark.
So would you say that your definition of success has changed over time?
100%. When I first got into boxing, it was to learn how to win a fight, and then as I progressed, it was just to be successful at a tournament, and then to get into that tournament, get to this tournament, become world champion, and stuff, and to be the best fighter. And then that's what it was. That was cut short because of the feelings that I had. And now success to me is just those who follow their passion, and their passion could be fighting. You know what I mean? Yeah, sweet. But for me, it's not fighting, but I'm following my passion in helping people, and I'll do that for a low paycheck. Well, I am doing doing that because the money I was getting in boxing was like great, but I've walked away from that. I'm very, very happy about that, and so I'm not ruled by money, and so I'm following what I know will fulfill me, and that's helping people, and that's what I want to do, and I feel happy about that, and that's success to me. And as long as I can go home and my kids are happy and my wife is happy and I'm happy, then life is good. That's a success. Yeah. We don't need all that extra stuff, you know. Before it was like a big house, it was a big car and stuff like this. But as I potentially got like older, I'm looking at these like mansions and stuff because I was like, you know, dreaming them. I was visioning them, and then I'm thinking, oh man, that's so many empty rooms. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then I'm thinking, oh, do you really need a house that big? Do you like, you know? And then my dreams kind of got smaller. It suited to what it got suited to what I kind of saw what happiness was, and happiness was just a feeling that was just it's just connection. It's not a connection to a material thing, because that stuff withers away and then your happiness changes. But the happiness within the family, which is where I place my happiness, that stuff is just all connection. So my connection with my son, my connection with my wife, and all my children, that is happiness to me. And that's such a success if I can fulfill it. If I can fulfill it with just working a 9-to-5 job, what a success, you know? So that's how it's changed.
Again, a powerful realization.
Mm.
Yeah, I also went down that path.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful to have it now. And although your definition of success has changed, you know, we all have goals in life. How much of a factor does being passionate about what you're doing play into achieving your goals?
Oh, 100%, man. Have to be passionate about what you do. Have to be passionate about what you do. Because I was faced this question when I was leaving boxing. I faced it. I was just like, oh, you know, your passion isn't to hurt anyone anymore, but the money's still there. Let's do it. And then, but I've got such a respect for the sport, and I'm not gonna do anything like I'm not gonna half-ass anything. You know what I mean? You can't, especially with a sport like boxing, a sport where you can get hurt, or where that person can get hurt or will get hurt. Yeah, so that is the approach that I feel that you have to take into anything. You have to be passionate about it, otherwise you'll be useless at your job or your career. So it's the number one thing that should get you to your career, and the one that should keep you in your career is the passion. I know it fades every now and then, but it's great to, you know, remind yourself why you're there. And that's something that failed me in my career, because I faced those questions. I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this to feed my family, but those change for that change, you know. So I'm not doing it for the money anymore, because I can just get a job and that's money. So so it changed. But 100%, the passion has to align with your career, and you need passion, man. You need it, and that's what I'm going towards. I'm passionate that I know that I want to help people, and so I'm going towards that.
Cool. That is incredibly insightful. And as you move into your next stage in your life, how are you thinking about legacy and what you're going to leave behind when it's all said and done?
That doesn't concern me at all. My ego has died, so I'm not concerned with what's going to be left behind, because it doesn't concern me, and all I want is for my children to be happy. They can go along their life and do whatever they want, but if they know that I love them and that I cared for them, then you know, that's it. I'm not after living forever or being immortal. Who does that help? No one. Like, like I'm gonna be gone. People that I know, like everyone's gonna be gone at some point. And for me, legacy is just knowing that my children love. It's knowing that my children knew that I love them, and that I just want them to be themselves and know that it's okay and know that I love them no matter what. That's it. Yeah, that's all. That is legacy to me. But that's just living. Legacy has nothing to do with me. Like I don't dance around with immortality. It's boring. Living forever is boring. You know what I mean?
Wow. If you can do that, that is one of the greatest things and then one of the greatest gifts that I can ever imagine. That is cool. It sounds like you're at a crossroads in this point in life. And that's something that, I had myself. And that's something that I see every single day. Because, I do work at ZEIL. It's my job to help people get jobs. And we do see that, people really have moments in their life in which they go, hey, I need to go down this road or another road. And it sounds incredibly cool that you've now starting to cross through that and figure out exactly where you need to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to set you up with, having conversations with quite a few different other people in a few different industries. And we're going to get them to have conversations with you and see if it aligns with where you want to go to in the future. Stay tuned as we kick off At a Crossroads with Junior Fa, where he goes on a journey to talk to various industry leaders to discover what they did when they faced their own crossroads, to help discover where he wants to spend his energy next. We're excited to see where Junior ends up next. Thank you very much, Junior.
Nailed it, brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Enjoyed that.